Man builds a church for his dying son. Shocking truth. As I was doing some research, I came across this abandoned building with a very unique and complex background. The more I dug, the more I started to appreciate the history this place holds and how it became such a famous attraction to people who live and travel to this area of the world. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button to receive a breakthrough in your life. Good things are coming. Now, with that being said, let's take a look into the history that surrounds this abandoned church. But to do so, let's travel to Moldova and head over to the small village of Pohrebea, which hosts a population of around 700 people. The history of this small village goes back as recorded by first settlers in 1769. The first settlers were refuged of Moldova principality, which were under very confusing times due to various wars and constant changing of rulers. And indeed, as I read a little more into this, it did get a little confusing. Okay, moving on. The two things that this village is mostly famous for is the island that's in the middle of the river, and you guessed it, the old abandoned church. The church is named Saint Aleksei, in the name of the son of the Russian Tsar Nikolai II. It is said that his son, who was sick and dying from a young age, and he was seeking ways to cure him, and he tried many things. Then one day he visited a monk to seek answers. The monk told him that to cure his son, he would have to build a few churches across certain locations, Pohrebea being one of them. Despite building these several churches that the monk told him to do, that unfortunately did not help curing his son. Was the monk seeing something in the future that would help later on in life? Or did he think that God would forgive him for building many churches? Why do you think the monk would suggest this to Nikolai II? Let me know in the comments below. The building sitting is more than a century old and is a real historical gem that has been left. The church has survived to this day, including 2 major wars. Just looking at this church, you can tell that this building has a story. Seeing all the chunks missing out of the side of the building, and you can just make out the beautiful craftsmanship that once showed its true beauty and looks. In August 1944, during World War II, Moldova was a major battlefront. During the battle, the church was used as a fortress by the Nazis and the Russian troops. Could you imagine being in this building while it was under fire and bombs being dropped on this place? To this day, the scars of the battle can be seen in the walls of the church as many bullet holes and chunks are left to remind anyone who sees this that a war happened here. The top of the church was also blown off, leaving it exposed to Mother Nature. Since Soviet Union religion was forbidden, the church was transformed into a deposit, and then later, in 1992, during the Transnistarian War, it was used again as a fortress. The only difference was that this time, the bullet holes were coming from the other side of the shore. With no money for restoration, the church has been left in the same condition since these bloody events, reminding the villagers daily of what tragedy took place here. A local stated, and I quote, "No services have been held here for more than 70 years. Apart from this icon with the face of the Mother of God and the candle holder, only ruins and traces of bullets remain," unquote. The National Council of Historical Monuments advocates for the restoration of this architectural masterpiece and its inclusion in the National Tourist Route. Moreover, the institution has so far approved 2 projects in this regard. But local authorities say they should be discussed first with villagers and church leaders. Only after that will it be possible to find the necessary solutions and funds for this restoration. Would you try to save this building, or would you tear it down? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please share this with a friend. Peace. I love you, and as always, God bless.
Это звуки нашего лета. Пати дэнс, гулять до рассвета.